welcome to another episode of Nappy Changing and Brand Building with Laura Crawford, CEO of Mama Bamboo. And today I am delighted to be joined by Lisa and Philippa from BCorp, who is a fellow B Corp and who makes sustainable clothing for breastfeeding and maternity wear. And is an amazing brand that we've been working with for the last couple of years. So I'm very glad to have you on the show, girls. Hi.
Hi there. Thanks so much for inviting us. I'm delighted to be here.
We'll start with the first question, which is around how you girls got started and how you decided to jointly co-found the BCorp brand.
Oh, I love this question. It's one of my favourite stories to tell. So Philip and I were friends. We were at baby yoga together and we were both pregnant with our second children. And I was breastfeeding and I happened to be wearing this top that I had made myself because, you know, I wanted something like it and I couldn't find it to buy. And Philippa spotted it. She said, "What on earth are you wearing?" And then she said, "Oh, hang on a minute. Could you make me one?" And so I did. And then she said, "Could you make more?" And I said, "Well, I can make a few. How many do you want?" And you were the one who sort of saw the gap in the market, weren't you?
Yeah, I think we realised that, you know, there was a real opportunity here to make this top that didn't exist, but also to really think about how we can do that sustainably, because that's been a massive part of what we do since day one. Yeah, and that's really where it all started and just grew from there. And we started with a black and white vest. That was our main kind of product that we launched with. And then, we went on to expand the range, expand the colours, different styles, and
it just grew from there.
I've had a couple of B-shirts along the way for both of my children. And it's a brilliant, simple design to actually kind of keep your modesty whilst breastfeeding, but just a little flap underneath to keep it nice and neat. And it really encourages breastfeeding to continue and to be in public.
Yeah, we called the product Lift the Flap because we thought we couldn't think of a better product name than that. It's the Lift the Flap vest. And it kind of reminded me of like a children's book, you know, like where you lift the flaps in children's books. I thought, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and it's great. We do. Yeah. And we get so many testimonials from customers who write to us and say exactly what you said. You know, having their BCorp did help them to breastfeed for longer, and it just gave them that confidence to go out and breastfeed in public, which is it's a massive deal for a new mum. I remember feeling really nervous myself about breastfeeding in public, and it just gives mums that little confidence boost.
Yeah,
which really helps.
Yeah. That's our purpose.
You've extended the range quite a bit, so you've got your breastfeeding, your sort of core products, but you also do all the maternity wear now and almost the postpartum wear to stay comfy for a little bit longer.
Yeah, well, it all came about when we sort of realised that we had a circular product that fit really well within the circular sustainable business model. And so it was when we launched the Buy Bag, we thought, well, what are the customers going to buy? Well, they'll buy their next stage, won't they? Yeah. And it kind of is like, well, this is short-term use products, so we do want them back because we can sell them on. There's life left in these clothes. They're high-quality clothes. They last. So as a brand, to sort of buy that back and say, we'll have it back, and here you go. Here's some store credit, and you can buy a regular top. And you still have your favourite brand in your closet? That's great.
Brilliant for sustainability as well, because necessarily kind of breastfeeding and maternity wear, it's short term, we know that. But given the world of fast fashion and polyester clothing, we know we've got to tackle the sustainability issue. And you've got several programmes going. You've got your buyback programme and you've got your rental programme. How does that work? Do people take you up on those two programmes? Do they work with it?
Yeah, they do actually. Since we've launched those programs, we've had really good uptake, and we've just seen that uptake increase over time. We've got several circular initiatives that we've launched, and it really starts with the design of the product. So we design our products to be long lasting, to give them that really, so they can withstand multiple washes and multiple uses. And we think about, when we're designing the products, how are these going to be recycled at the end of their life? So we take all of that into consideration. And then also the fabrics we use. So we've started to use recycled cotton now, as well as got certified organic cotton. So it's really important that we choose those sustainable fabrics. And then, of course, customers that come to us, they can buy our products, but they can also rent them. And I think for customers, you know, it's a bit of a leap in a way, because sometimes, you know, we're tired as a mum, it's 2 a.m, you're shopping on your phone at night, you're breastfeeding, and you just want something quickly, and there's a temptation there just to go with what we know. But I think more and more people now are starting to embrace the idea of renting clothes, and particularly clothes for short-term use. And more people are starting to use the rental option, which is fantastic. And then, so when mums have finished, when they finish their breastfeeding journey or they finish their rental, they can return the clothes to us. If it's a rental, we just take it back, or if it's a buyback, we'll buy it back from them, and they can go and buy one of our other products, and we can resell that stock as pre-loved, again, just to extend the lifetime of clothing. And if something comes back to us really damaged and not able to be reused, then we look at upcycling and recycling to just close that loop, that circular.
Oh, that's amazing. And did you sort of implement those schemes prior to going for the BCorp certification, which I know you've got, or was that kind of afterwards?
That was afterwards. Yeah, it was. I mean, we got BCorp really easily. We were already doing everything. And I think that's the beauty and the joy of being an SME and a micro brand. You know, we hadn't got a board to convince that this was the right thing to do. It was the validation of what we were already doing. So that was not difficult. The circularity came through Innovate UK. Innovate UK recognised the sustainable work that we were doing, and also said, well, this is actually quite innovative what you guys are doing. And we ended up, the business won 4 Innovate UK awards in the span of 18 months. And they supported us to fully solidify and develop not only a circular business plan, because it has to make sense for the business. And, you know, running a sustainable business is expensive. We are always making the expensive choice, not the easy choice, which other people get to make. We have to make the expensive choice. And so having a circular business plan actually said, hey, hang on a minute, if this were scaled, this makes more financial sense. Taking your product back and selling it again rather than making new, that makes business sense. So the circularity came through Innovate UK, and they were amazing.
That is amazing. And it is always about that. For any sustainable business, it does actually still have to be profitable. It is a balance between planet, people, product, and profit. And yes, it's not enough to just be a nice business or just doing it out of the goodness of your heart. Actually, no, you do have to manage it, and it has to work and scale up. Particularly if you're ever considering really scaling up, going international, or exiting, which I'm delighted that this week is a very exciting week for you ladies. An awful lot of mum entrepreneurs, dad entrepreneurs, start businesses because their children are young and they're in that kind of baby world. But not everybody has a clear plan of how they're ever going to exit that business. Whereas you ladies this week are announcing that actually you are exiting Bisha, and it's going to go on to new heights under new management. How did that all come about?
Oh, it's really exciting. Yeah, it's such a great ending, really, for us, but also a new beginning for both of us and the business as well. I think, you know, we started this business when our children were very young. They were babies, and we were breastfeeding mums, and we kind of were our target audience. And we've learned so much, and it's been such a fantastic journey with, as any entrepreneur would know, with amazing highs and some very challenging lows. And we've just got to the point now where I think we're both ready for a new challenge. Our kids are older now, and we were very much working around the kids when they were babies, which was fantastic to have the flexibility to do that. But now the children are older, and we don't need to be around quite so much for them. We've got the opportunity to put our energy into something else.
And you know, us as entrepreneurs, our skills, when we sit down and write them down, it's impressive, isn't it? You know, you think, you know, we did this all off our own steam, building this brand and all the effort and work that we did. And there's a legacy with the brand. My sister-in-law texts me whenever she spots a B shirt in the wild. She's like, there was someone in the library. I was like, yes. Love that. And, you know, to be able to utilize those skills and have future successes in areas that possibly we wouldn't have had access to before starting this business. You know, personally, I'm doing a bit of business advising, and I would like to put my C-suite skills to use as a board member or as a trustee, because I think the experience that we've gained really suits those sorts of positions. And then Philippa's got other ideas.
Yes, so I'm going to be sticking with e-commerce, and also my background was actually in digital marketing. So again, I'm looking to pursue both of those areas with some exciting new projects. So.
Oh, that is exciting. And I think you're absolutely right. Actually, starting your own business as a small business, you gain so many skills and so wide an experience. You'll know from being a small business owner, you don't just do the digital marketing or just do the fulfillment side or the accounts. You do everything.
Oh, yeah.
You learn so much and how to balance all those different priorities. I would always say anybody that has run a business successfully like you have, you have an immense wealth of knowledge and experience to offer up to anybody else starting a business, anybody else looking for some business advice, or looking for a marketer that really does understand all of the nuances of that digital world, because it is quite complex.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so it's very exciting. So, you know, there's new horizons for us personally and for the brand. We're really excited. We got the dream buyer. If we had written to Mary Poppins and said, this is what we want to buy her, she delivered. And that's great. And she's coming to it with fresh eyes and fresh ideas. And she already knows where she wants to expand. And that's great. So I can't wait to see what she does and where she takes the brand and sort of, you know.
Yeah, we know she's already going to be further expanding the product range, which is super exciting for the brand. Just can't wait to see what she does next.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? You've started a real, as I say, the kitchen table brand. And you've built it up so successfully, and now it's going to continue on, and that's lovely, that kind of legacy of keeping it going. And I think it is a brand that an awful lot of ladies, certainly the ones we talk to, because obviously we do the babies' nappies, people have heard of the B shirt. Like, your brand awareness is really high in that target market, which is absolutely super. However, I know I'm going to hit on one little story because I just think it's fascinating. At one point, Meta decided that you weren't allowed to advertise, didn't they?
Oh my God. Just when you think you've dealt with everything as an entrepreneur, that hits you.
Yes, I mean, Meta, so we've had problems actually since day one with our ads being targeted as sexual content. You know, and it's a bot will see one of our images and flag it as inappropriate. So quite often we've had to kind of appeal to get the ads accepted by Facebook. But yeah, this time it just went one step further and disabled our entire page and all of our ads from advertising, which, as a business owner that's so reliant on that.
Oh God, it was devastating.
You know, we were so reliant on that source of customers, and our account was banned for about 2 weeks. So that was such a stressful time, just thinking, and they told us it was a permanent ban.
Yeah,
you know,
no appeal.
So we just thought, you know, are we ever going to get our Facebook page back? Are we ever going to be able to run ads again? And it just would have been such a struggle if it had ended up being permanent. So yeah, when I talked about those challenging times on the roller coaster, that was definitely one of the lows.
Yeah, and the thing is, Laura, it happened when Philippa was on holiday. It happened in August, and it's just typical. Like, you're going to take some time off from a job that takes a lot from you. Have some family time, bit of balance. No.
You're going to spend your holiday on the phone to Facebook trying to
deal with
get your page back.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's the left field that comes at you. business owner that you are not expecting. Well, I am so pleased that you managed to fight it off and get your page back and up and running. And it's slightly disturbing, isn't it, that an image of a lady breastfeeding could even be contemplated as some sort of sexualized content or inappropriate. And I think this expands beyond the digital and into the real world. There are so many mums that do, unfortunately, encounter that kind of comment, that disparaging looks from people when they're out breastfeeding. And it's a perfectly natural and beautiful thing. So yeah, it does make me shake my head and sigh in exasperation. And your type of top that gives people just enough modesty whilst doing it is so valuable.
Yeah, definitely. We're huge fans of extended breastfeeding as well, and you know, that's another thing our tops have really enable mums to be able to do, is just carry on breastfeeding for as long as they want.
That's right.
As long as they want, which is perfect. And of course, B-Shirt will be continuing as long as it wants, and we will be able to source your products ongoing and support as many mums as possible, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. It's a pleasure to hear your story, how you got started, the sustainability of the brand, and of course your exit and how the brand is going to live on. Thank you so much.